6 weeks pregnant lady diagnosed with sputum positive TB. What is the management for this patient? So this patient will be given category 1 ATT and she will be started on ATT soon, right? So whenever she presents, so ATT can be started any trimester and you will give category 1. Also please remember, sometimes we ask you when is it likely to relapse or flare. Then maximum chances of relapse or flare are seen in the purpurium. Okay, please remember, TB is not by itself an indication to not breastfeed the baby, but if the mother is having active TB and she is not on treatment, then yes, it is a contraindication for breastfeeding. Please remember, pulmonary tuberculosis is no indication for doing a cesarean section in the patient. Okay, so a forceps rotation from 30 degrees and the station is +2, what type it is? So if the station is +2, this is going to be low forceps, right? For outlet forceps, it has to be more than +3, right? For low forceps, it has to be more than or equal to +2, but not more than +3. Mid cavity is when it is between 0 and +2 and high is above 0. Most commonly, we use outlet forceps, but we can also use low forceps, okay? What is Schwangerschaft protein? This is pregnancy specific beta-1 glycoprotein, right? Please remember that this is produced by the trophoblast. It can be detected as early as 18 days post fertilization, right? And the levels will keep increasing as POG increases. Okay. Then the next one says the finding of single umbilical artery on examination of the cord is what? So this actually is an indicator of increased malformations in the fetus. The most common malformations with single umbilical artery are renal, right? And the second are cardiovascular. But if we talk about major anomalies, then they are seen in the cardiovascular system. In general, the most common are renal anomalies. Please remember, the highest risk of single umbilical artery is seen with twin pregnancy. Okay. Now, vulval cancer may be spread by direct or lymphatic spread. Which statement is false? So we have to actually talk about the false statement. So the false statement is B here. Lymphatic drainage of the vulva proceeds from femoral to inguinal to pelvic is incorrect. It will drain from inguinal lymph nodes, which are usually the superficial inguinal, right? Then they will go to the femoral lymph nodes and finally they will go to the pelvic lymph nodes. Please remember, the superficial inguinal are going to be the sentinel lymph nodes for vulval cancer. And vulval cancer is the first cancer where in gynecology where sentinel lymph node sampling was used. So now the best answer for sentinel lymph node is vulval cancer, followed by vaginal cancer, or rather, sorry, endometrial cancer. So now we are using it also in endometrial cancer, and then it is in the investigational stages for cervical cancer. So now sentinel lymph node sampling can be used in these three places, but the single best answer will still remain as vulval cancer. Okay, so patient is 38 weeks. She presents with a BP of 130/90. Urine protein is within normal limits, which means she is a case of gestational hypertension, and as you can see, her blood pressure is well controlled. So then you will deliver her at term normally. There is no indication for cesarean section. You will not wait at 42 weeks. Gestational hypertension are delivered at 37 weeks, right? If the blood pressure is well controlled. Same holds true for mild preeclampsia. They will be delivered at 37 weeks, right? So she has to be delivered at term and normally, okay? Now, various techniques of female sterilization include all the following except sclerosing agents. We don't use sclerosing agents for sterilization. We use clips, we definitely ligate with sutures, and we put fallope rings, which are actually bands. Whatever method you are doing, the most common site is going to be the isthmus. And the most common method is laparoscopic. Although please remember, laparoscopic tubal ligation cannot be done postpartum, right? So for postpartum, it has to be a mini laparotomy.